Yeah. So many people, and from being a consultant, this is their greatest fear is what happened to you.
Yeah,
What if everything goes to hell in a handbasket? What if I lose everything? And I always go to my own lessons learned. My husband and I call it tuition. What you pay,
there it is.
and that's what it is. It is not going to kill you. And you know that saying, and I what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but sometimes you wish it would, because you're just a fucked up mess and it hurts like hell. And you see your
Yeah.
family and your spouse and everyone around you who you feel like the biggest loser in the world. And you just wish it would all be over. And
Mm.
it's not gonna, it's a slog every day to pick yourself back up and do it and resurrect yourself.
That's big. And I love that you said it like that because Alex Hormozy, it was actually I was listening to one of his podcasts. He has a podcast called The Game, and I recommend anybody go check
Mm,
it out because there's a ton of value that he just puts out. But he literally said, "What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, even if your business completely flops, you're not gonna die." And I when I heard that, I kind of just smirked at it, but then I really started thinking about it like I've never actually thought about what would happen if this business failed. If I did have to declare bankruptcy, what would actually happen? And it was back to when I was a college football player, and my whole thought was, man, I gotta make it into the professional league. I have to. And I didn't have a vision for myself after football. And so when football was taken away, it was such a scary thing because I didn't know what was going to happen afterwards. And then once I started living it, you realize like, oh wait, there's actually light at the end of this journey. There's opportunity on the other side of it. And in the same way, I had honestly been thinking, I think my spirit internally was acting as if calling this opportunity a failure meant that something within me was going to die. And I wasn't allowing myself to cut the cord when it needed to be cut. And
mhm.
I think now I'm just in such a mindset of if it doesn't build on my strengths, if it doesn't fill my cup, if it doesn't play to what makes me feel whole, I don't need to do it. I need to stay away from it. And as I've just switched, being a consultant, to me that was the peak. I love what you get to do. And now I'm on the development side, and so I have a little bit more structure and I'm a little more in a lane than I was before, but I still get to coach people and I get to actually engage with more people now than I did as a
Yeah.
consultant and I get to engage with more consultants and I get to interact with you and so many of the other folks in franchise and beyond in ways that I didn't ever think about before. And I just think it's a beautiful thing that oftentimes we get so stuck and we get these blinders on because we feel like we have to operate in a certain lane. And truly, you can only experience breakthrough after something breaks. And
Yeah.
I just have to break everything down in order to move forward.
And I follow you now on not only LinkedIn, but also Facebook, you and your wife and your kids. And I see you coaching and mentoring and leading them in the backyard,
Yeah.
running around back there. And you and I have spoken before, my three pillars: your wife, your life, and your money.
Yeah.
Moving forward with any of these decisions, you and your wife had moved forward. Obviously, Mosquito Joe, the day after you got married, um, then going into Groovy Hughes and so quickly into Fran Choice. How how did your marriage get
Mm.
tested and come out after the loss of your daughter? That is devastating.